What's up, guys?
Hey, yo.
Hi.
Or, what's up, everyone?
Bronson.
Hey, Seth. Welcome to this meeting of the Association of Cyber Engineers. Today, we're talking about passwords. But first, I need to find it. But first, we're going to talk about hashes. Can I click? Oh, no, but first, actually, we have the disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Very cool.
There we go.
All right. So we are going to be I am going to be teaching you guys today something that could be construed as hacking. So please don't hack people, unless you're supposed to be hacking people. Cool? If you do hack someone you're not supposed to hack and you get caught, we will make fun of you. So, hashing. Last week we talked about encryption, which is you take your plain text, you apply an encryption algorithm which takes a key to that plain text, you get encrypted text. This encrypted text is then safe to transmit and store until you need to unencrypt it so that someone else can read that plain text again. Hashing looks a little bit like encryption, except it's not, because there's no decryption. You pass plain text through a hashing function, and it's just hashed text. And there's also no keys involved. There are different hash functions you can use, and we'll go over what those look like in a minute. But you don't actually have a password involved at any point. So the only thing that you can do is basically pass your text through this function, and it'll give you pseudo-random bits. And the idea of hashing is that output that you get, that hash text, is completely undecipherable and cannot be reversed in any way. And if you change the input text even slightly, you get completely different hash. There are a bunch of different uses for hashing. You see it a lot if you're downloading a lot of or if you download files, or if you just use networks generally. Hashing is used a lot to verify that a file or something that you're passing over a network is valid and that it is like the intended data. So for example, anytime you use Wi-Fi, anything you're passing over Wi-Fi is getting hashed on your end. That hash is being sent along with the data, and then whatever is receiving that Wi-Fi message is hashing the data and comparing it to the hash you included. And if it's the same hash, then we're good. Digital signatures are also a thing. So that's basically where you hash some data that you're wanting to verify is yours and is authentic. You then encrypt that hash data with a private key. No, you then encrypt the hash with a private key, and then whoever you're sending that data to, is it doing things again? Oh.
It went back to flat for some reason.
It's fine on my end. Whatever. That hash data, you then send it to someone. That someone can use your public key to decrypt the hash the data, check the hash, you're good. It's also used for indexing. Basically, if you have a lot of different things you're trying to store, you can hash those things, and that gives you a very quick and easy way to differentiate between large file sets. This is part of how Git works. The commits that you make are hashed, and that's the actual ID of the commit. And then the one we're interested in today is password storage, because it is a very, very bad idea to store people's passwords in plain text. Because if you get hacked, if your database gets leaked, if there's some kind of backdoor you don't know about, or if there's just an employee that's pissed off and has access to your database, the passwords for everyone using your service are just there. That's not good. So what we do is anytime we're storing a password, you can hash that password, and then when you actually enter your password to log in, it's only comparing against, is it doing things? What?
It turned off, and the second you turned around, it put it back on.
I quit, y'all. So, yeah, so you hash things. So basically an example of how to take a hash of something, I'm just going to echo my password. What on earth? Oh yeah, that's from the CTF. So if this is my password, this is my very, very secure password that I'm showing to you all. If I pipe that into what's called MD5 sum, I can't spell, MD5 sum. MD5 sum basically takes that text and hashes it using MD5. And that is what your hash looks like. It's just random gobbledygook. And if I do it again, it gives me the same thing. But then if I say a much more secure password, you can see it's a completely different thing, a completely different hash. And I think a better example would be, say, SHA-256 sum. And that's a longer, more secure hash. And then, again, if I try to harden my password some, I get a completely different hash. So, these are different hash algorithms that exist. I showed you MD5 and SHA-256. MD5 stands for Message Digest 5. SHA stands for Secure Hash Algorithm. These were kind of the two early hash algorithms that were standards for a long time. But as you can see by the asterisk, they had collisions found for them, which essentially means they're broken. What collisions mean is somebody somewhere was able to find some kind of algorithm they could use to figure out some kind of input to give to that hash function that would then translate to a hash that they wanted, which is very, very bad because now if they have that hash, they can just pass in whatever input they are able to generate and they're able to say that's your password and hack into whatever account is protected by that password. So some more secure alternatives that have popped up, and this is not at all an exhaustive list. scrypt, bcrypt, and then pbkdf2 are kind of the standards nowadays. pkbdf2 is like, I think it's base, yet you can choose like one of these other algorithms to base it on. So like I can run pbkdf2 with MD5 and it'll do a whole sequence of MD5 things, but it will also be cryptographically secure. The math behind hashing is well over my head, but basically it involves a lot of XORs, a lot of just shuffling bits around randomly, and a lot of, modulus, which is like the one, I think.
Don't forget matrices as well.
Matrices, a lot of linear algebra as well. Yeah, and basically you do a bunch of that in some specified order. You iterate over itself 100 times, and you get that. So,
Yeah.
and you get that. All right. So, we have gotten ourselves access to someone's database where they've stored hashed passwords. What do we do with it if we're wanting to hack them? Let's just jiggle this cable. All right. Well, you could write a script. Basically, your only option is write some kind of script that takes, that just goes through a bunch of guesses and hashes them and tries to find, and guesses and checks the correct hash thing. This is what we were told to do in Cyberstorm class, was just write a Python script to do this, which is all well and good, except that there's like 16 different already made ones included in Kali. So let's use one of those. Let's see. I think the most common one is Hashcat. What do you say? Yeah, is Hashcat. And basically what you do with Hashcat is you pass it so first off I'm going to, nope, I'm going to use MD5 because that's what I have in my notes. And I'm going to write that into my password file. So now I have a password file to use. And Hashcat is going to, if I can remember how to copy and paste.
Have you enabled it in your terminal?
I have. Here we go, y'all. There we go. So, basically, I'm going to run Hashcat on my password.hash file. And we'll go over this in just a second. Basically, you have to take a list of possible passwords and pass it to Hashcat. And literally all it's doing is just going through that list, hashing them, and checking if it's the right hash. That's literally all it's doing. So I'm going to say wordlist. I think it's seclist common passwords? No, passwords. Common credentials, and is it 500 worst passwords? And basically, M stands for mode. Basically, there are several thousand modes, I think, that you can run Hashcat in, and that's basically what hash format to use, either MD5, SHA-256, bcrypt, scrypt, or MD5 with salts, MD5 with salt and pepper, and we'll go over all that. And then attack mode, we're just brute forcing it. I'll go over kind of the different attack modes in a second. And then we're outputting to that. And
no hashes loaded. Let's go.
exception. This error happens if the wrong hash type. Oh, you know what? Password.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Silly gun.
You guys having a good day?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad things haven't gotten salty yet.
Yep. So basically, like I said, this is just going through that list and hashing it repeatedly to try and find the right hash. And you can basically use Hashcat is specifically optimized to be used with like GPU farms. So like you can hook this up to like basically your crypto mining rig, and instead of mining crypto, because That's worthless. That's worthless all of a sudden. Now you can be hashing passwords. What's up?
So did you like have a file that just full of common passwords, or did you just like,
Yes, I'm so glad you asked. That's what we can do while this goes. Huh?
Show them Rocky.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
just kidding.
So now, if I look at, did it not?
No, it did.
I don't use this very often, so I don't know how to read the output. Exhausted.
So it went through the whole list. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I guess I should have used RockU. But let's talk about what any of that means before we do that. So basically, you saw me use this word list thing. This is pre-installed with Kali. Basically, this is just a listing of everything that's in this folder. It's just a ton of different files with just like thousands and thousands of passwords in them. And you have, so I think the one I used was 500 worst passwords. Huh?
Dark web on there.
Oh, yeah. Dark code, yeah.
Days.
Yeah. My favorite one that I discovered was Bible Pass.
Are those just all passwords in a Bible? Really?
Yes, it's,
What kind of? Can you show some examples? I'm really curious.
yeah. What was it? Sec lists, Bible Pass?
Passwords.
Pass, yeah.
What they don't show you in Sunday school.
Can I not spell? Oh, dot text.
Oh wow.
It's just,
It's Genesis.
Wait, let me guess. What's the three? It's gonna be crazy, guys.
So many.
it's just every possible permutation of,
You could iterate. So like,
Of- yeah.
theoretically, if you did have one of those, like if you had access to some sort of GPU farm, you could like run this entire list of passwords.
yeah.
Don't look. Don't look.
What?
No.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that was part one. I don't think part one got out of Genesis. Let's see what part two is. Oh, Exodus. Is Leviticus in here?
I was gonna say.
Well, it'd be interesting to see.
Nope.
Leviticus.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
we have Leviticus.
Which one has the Gospels in it?
What's in it?
That's
The Gospels? Oh, jeez. That'll be like.
Yeah.
That'll be like part 8.
You know what we can do? He can
Oh no,
put
it's
them
much.
all
It's gotta be
together
further
and do
than that.
Yeah, so there's
And that's gonna be like
Yeah.
part.
cat or, hold on.
Probably.
Sec,
Dude, you'd be exercising them.
Bible pass.
star, pipe in.
Yeah, all-
lines.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Nope.
That should have
They
been.
don't get that far.
I think,
Oh, does it not even list that far?
I think you may have just crashed your terminal.
it's possible. I think that crashed my terminal.
That's why you need a grep.
Oh, yeah.
And you gotta send it to the
Then you
lawyer.
can.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, there's John.
Yeah. So, if I grep, if I can spell, if I grep for John in,
Somebody was doing LP6.
I'm in third place.
Oh, I'm in fourth, maybe fifth.
Don't get too humble.
Mm-hmm.
My challenge you just rolled that.
Is it this? Yeah.
Oh,
We're still with John 1.
Yeah. John 2. Oh, first John.
Good John, let's go.
Oh, they got the number variations. So we haven't
Yep.
seen that one yet.
Wait.
Yep.
Was it Heavy Rain reference?
But yeah, so we have Bible Pass, we have the 10 million, or we have the top 10 million passwords, top 10 million most common passwords, and then way down there is
Rocky
RockU, which is a several, I think, gigabyte password file, word list.
If I'm not mistaken, it's rocku.text.tar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's again several gigabytes. So they actually distribute it to you as a GZ file, and you have to go in and is it in here? Yeah. So tar. You have to tar it. I think it's that.
Pretty much have to decompress.
Oh wait, I think I already did.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, don't you have to tar then pipe into a GZ?
134.
Or is it a GZ?
No, that's way
and
too
pipe in the tar?
Is it?
134.
I think that might be it. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go back to.
Do like a wordless count. Like the
Oh, yeah.
dash L on it. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
That's it.
So that is WC is word count, and this is lines. So that's 14 million different passwords stored in this text file. So if we go back to our working directory, and we hashcat. Oh, nice. I can probably finish the presentation while this is going. So how do we defend? How do people defend against those types of attacks? Basically, you have several. You have several options. That is, first off, this is why you'll see password requirements whenever you sign up for things, because basically the more complexity your password has and the more possible combinations of characters in your password, the harder it is for for the hashing process to happen. And basically you end up with just this arms race of like, administrators keep increasing password requirements, and these hashing like word lists just keep getting longer. And there are also ways to, and I think Hashcat has something like this, where you can include rules with your word list, and basically it'll have just a list of rules that, like, if you see an A, you can try it as an A, or you can try it as an @ or you can try it as a 4. I don't know. And so those types of things exist, and basically, again, it's basically just an arms race. I think NIST has like recommendations for what types of password requirements to use. I don't know them off the top of my head.
I know that with Security Plus, they recommend you have them change their password every like 2 months.
I think I've heard that has changed.
I heard that too.
I don't know. I have heard that requiring people to change passwords is no longer like kosher, because like what happens when you make people change their password is they say, "Oh, well, my password was password 1234. Now I need to remember a new password. Password 12345."
Yeah. It's when you have to keep memorizing a new password.
Yeah.
People make simpler and easier passwords.
Yeah.
Or just change it.
Another defense that you'll see for passwords against this is called salting. And, I didn't mention rainbow tables, so we need to back up a little. Basically, another option for cracking passwords is to use what's called a rainbow table, which is basically somebody has already generated that list of passwords and their hashes, and you just you basically grep that for the hash that you're looking for. Basically offloading computer power to storage power. And this is how to defend against that. Basically, when you hash when you take in a password, you generate a salt for that, and that salt is just random bits. And you append that salt to the password you're hashing, and then you store that salt alongside the password. So, for example, if I went to a website and entered my password, they would then salt that password which would generate this little string at the end that they'd tack on, and then they'd run it through the hashing function, and in their database where they store the salted password, it would just be the salt that they used to generate that hash prepended to the actual hash. And that's to prevent people from just using pre-generated rainbow tables. And it's an extra layer of defense because you actually have to have access to the database to get salts. Whereas there are other ways to just get hashes without access to the database. So, yeah. The other option is peppering, which is an extra layer of protection on top of salting, where basically you salt the password and you store the salt in the database with the password, but you also have a pepper, which is a constant random string of bits, so it's constant across all your passwords, that you store somewhere other than your database. And you add that onto your hash with the salt. And basically that's to prevent somebody getting into your database and now having all of your salted passwords, but they still can't access the actual values because they don't have the pepper that you used for your passwords. And there are, again, arms race, there are ways to get around this as well. The other defense that's becoming more and more common is to just not rely on passwords in the first place, or even have some other form of authentication in addition to passwords, and that's where 2FA comes in. 2FA is two-factor authentication. If you work for tech, you've had to set up 2FA to get into Moodle. It's infuriating because they could just use Duo where you click yes, but instead I have to copy over the 2FA code. Anyway, and this gets into the whole philosophy about what are the various things you can use for authentication. And basically, in order to verify that I am who I say I am, you can challenge me on something I know, which would be I know my password, I know who my mother's maiden name was, and all that kind of stuff. You can challenge me on something I have. So I have access to my phone, therefore I can get that security code you sent me. I meant to bring it, but they also sell little USB security keys. So whenever you log into something, you can set it up where you actually have to plug in a little USB security key that has a certificate on it to check it. If you do anything ever related to the military, they'll also give you one of these, which is it's a common access card, and it has this little chip on it so that you can, Yeah. Well, I still work for them. So, this also has certificates on it, so whenever I log into my military email, I have to plug this into a little chip card reader, and that will verify that I have access to that. You also have something you are. That is your fingerprint or your face, which is increasingly popular in phones. And something you do, this is much less common because humans are annoyingly unreliable when you ask them to do something constantly. So in the Cyberstorm class, Anki had us practice writing something that was would authenticate you based on how long it took you to type in your password. And that's just not a good way of authenticating people. But you also, I think if you remember years ago, a lot of phones would have picture passwords where you had just a picture on your wallpaper and you had to drag your finger across it in a certain way, and that was your passcode. So that's an option. Or you can also verify someone based on where they are. And this obviously would kind of go in hand with one of the other ones, but you could act as an extra layer of protection, check that they are where they are physically at their office and they have to be there to log in, or they are not logging in from an IP address in China, that sort of thing. And all of those are methods of authenticating that don't involve passwords. There's some talk among like regulators and things of just getting rid of passwords entirely and moving standards to something like a security key or MFA type system. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but that's something that I think has been like whispered about as a thing. Let's see if we have cracked my super secure password. Someone who knows how to use Hashcat, come help me. I guess it exhausted the, huh?
His password wasn't just too strong.
Was it was just like, did I like mistype password and accidentally make like a super secure password?
It's a capital P.
No. Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a joke.
I mean, I know that was a joke, but I just want to see this work.
Okay.
What's funny is it only took 18 seconds.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like, let's log off this. It's like 3 seconds.
You might also need to change your the mode progression.
Yeah. Oh, well, y'all can't see it, but okay, let's see. I did MD5 Summit, right? Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. It's a long man file.
I can see that.
I could just, oh, there we, mode. Here we go. Yeah. 0 is MD5. Attack mode, straight. If I,
Wouldn't brute force be the better method in this case?
is it?
Yeah.
I guess.
They take longer, but
They have a Discord. Let's go.
Let's go ask for help. Yeah, let's go ask for help in their Discord.
that's pretty wild, man.
All right, let's try
Discord.
brute forcing.
Consulting.
Do we have any questions while this is going?
John Ripper.
I could try John. Yeah, like I said, there's like 20 different programs that do the same exact thing, and each is optimized for something different. So there's Hashcat's really popular. There's also John the Ripper. And then there's Medusa, which is another one that they list on their website. I don't know a whole lot about Medusa. No.
Bronson. Do you know about Pepper?
I want to say no. Oh, this is new.
Oh yeah, see now it's going through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Naruto.
You would think password would be pretty high on the list.
You would think. See, I wonder if we try this with the like most common password list again, because I actually looked at that list and it was on there, like very high.
Yeah.
In fact, let's do that.
Wait, you just saw password go by?
No.
Hold on.
Let's keep this meeting friendly.
Uh-huh.
Good place to stop.
Let's keep this meeting friendly, Josh. Come on.
Oh, what is it? Common.
Every single like text
Yeah.
at once. Multi-thread galore.
All right. This should do it. This should do it.
The CUDA cores. The CUDA cores.
Oh, several of these words are not PG.
Wait a minute. Did you have Nightlight on or
What?
Night shift.
Night shift?
Yeah, nightlight. Like your screen just got.
Oh.
It got like.
Oh, does it yellow out? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Oh, what happened? Is it gonna work?
See, when you come to these meetings,
There it
not
is.
only do you get entertained, but you also learn.
Yeah. While the screen was off, we passed by porn, bad boy. Those were the two highlights.
How is it not hit password yet?
I don't know. Hold on.
Maybe we're just wrong. Maybe we're doing it very wrong.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Are you just gonna let that go in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who needs CPU resources anyway?
Just go borrow Elon Musk's GPU.
That's not what I. Oh wait, passwords. What is it?
Common passwords?
Common.
Yeah.
Which one did I?
I saw password 1.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Fourth one down.
How did it miss it?
I am so lost.
Look at that one that's like the fifth from the bottom.
Hey, yo, bro. They said password's the most insecure password, but clearly the computer's saying otherwise.
Clearly, we're using hashtag correctly.
Yeah.
How do you get to that file?
So all of the word lists are stored in /user share word lists, and there's just like a whole tree of them. If you missed it, the gamer word was a password.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I did not realize this would be the controversial.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to blur this out before I put it on YouTube.
I think you're going to put an extra disclaimer.
Yeah.
Anytime you do anything with password text files.
Yeah.
We do not condone the use of
What?
We do not condone anything inside of
Yeah.
these password
Is
files.
there an option to just
I can say
stop
that.
what it's doing, like viewing all of this?
I think
Is there like a discrete mode where it doesn't like?
Yeah.
flutter
I
up
thought that's what it
I
did.
could have sworn I just saw Virgin.
Honestly, at this point, pick a word. It's gonna be in there.
Yeah, hold on.
How do you do a tree view? And
It's you might have to install it, but it's
It's
tree.
a package. You need to-
Yeah.
you need to install it.
Tree is indeed a package here.
What did I do?
Yeah, this is why this happens.
Common credentials, 10K most common.
Oh, yeah. You're at mad at you that like. Would it be mad at you that you're getting rid of the spaces at the end?
Literally the first one. The first one.
Oh.
This entire portion of this YouTube video is just gonna be blurred screen.
You need to add in a little section warning.
Yeah.
Lots of blurring.
Hold on.
You need to use like the blackout like confidentiality.
Hold on. I think if I do
Can you imagine going frame
this.
by frame doing that?
No.
Hey,
Hey, it's your name. It's your last name.
Hey.
I think tree is included in the Linux package.
You want to like try to learn John the Ripper like.
Yeah, let's try and figure out how John works on the fly.
John. Oh, Bronson, thank you for doing my challenge. Like 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
Oh yeah, which one was that?
I'm sad.
Intense staring.
I'm sad, though.
All right.
I was kind of expecting the restaurant.
Okay, rules and shadow warning detected. It can't be this easy.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Alright, next we're on John the Ripper.
Yeah. Okay. So it should just be John. Okay, that's easy.
117.
What was
Hey,
it?
you've used it before.
Can you install it?
Wait, where do
How
I?
do you list
It
it?
should be default on Kali.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Yeah. John is also just installed by default on Kali.
Bro, I'm upset because I don't want to have this up right now. Whatever Danny's doing with this virtual machine, you got password.
Did it work?
I have no clue.
Password, yeah,
Wait, where?
at the bottom.
It says
Done.
done, and then it says a bunch of other stuff, and it says password e-hyphen,
Wait.
and then it says session complete.
Wow.
Oh wait. Hold on. I think. Okay. This is why I didn't want to use John, because it has like it saves it to a file somewhere that you have to like
Fine.
find.
Is it in the directory?
No.
Is it like some random like Etsy file?
It's like I think it's the pot file.
The what?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, obviously,
Oh wait. Okay. John list. What?
Wait, go back to the John documentation. So I went to a .john file.
Wait. I think it's show. Use the show. Oh wait. Use show. Okay.
So use that.
Show.
You would expect maybe a command to hide it.
Zero hashes cracked.
Okay.
You made the uncrackable.
I have made the uncrackable password.
maybe redo your thing then.
You've done it like 4 times.
No, but this time it'll work.
Oh wait, hold on. Do I need to? Oh, I need to force. I need to force the format.
Ampersand, sudo app upgrade,
Don't you dare run
dash
that.
Y,
Don't you dare run that on that.
and then wait 2 hours for Danny Shales to bestow your Kali VM the update and the upgrade.
This is insane.
Like I say, I'm impressed, Bronson.
I didn't test this because I thought, surely, if I just,
Easy, right? Put a whole bunch of things into some hashes.
I've done
Get a
this before. I'll figure it out. No.
Wait, what was your original John?
Do you want to like? I have a program from like Applied Cryptography that does this.
Really?
Yeah. We had to make like a.
Oh wait, were you part of
I was in
Walters?
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Use the show.
So I can throw that in it.
Why don't you? Actually, you did use show, right?
No open MP support. Consider fork.
Do show on that one.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Go back to the other one. The one you just ran,
Uh huh.
And then you show.
and then hit show.
This?
Hit show flag on that one.
Okay.
Tac show. Okay, never mind. It doesn't like that.
Okay.
Forget I said anything.
Maybe add it in the beginning.
What are you doing, Bronson?
He was clearly trying to multi-thread.
Trying to terminate children.
Bronson,
7 of them.
waiting for 7 children to die. Keep your kids awake.
How dare you, Bronson?
DJ Schlatt.
The one time I don't test something out before I show it off.
Hey, at least it's not the Wireshark meeting from last year.
I mean, eventually we're gonna have to do Wireshark.
Whatever you guys do, you should do Baby Shark.
Nope.
We should keep lagging our officer. We would have lost it right there.
See, I did y'all a favor. See, you won't have to go through the extra step. Danny, I asked you, let me use your bites. I beg of you. Spare a couple bites.
What am I? Hold on.
You gonna figure this one out?
I'm assuming this is working beforehand. You announced that, right?
He said he was gonna come back.
Hey, you know what? I know what's going on.
What?
That quantum bit shift must have happened.
Crazy.
Cybersecurity is done for now.
Cyberspace as a whole.
Go on.
Hold on.
Okay, what did they...
Yeah.
They just put in like the hash, like
Yeah.
straight up. I don't think they used a file.
No, this is them using a file.
Oh damn.
So wait,
Yeah,
no,
they
no,
put
no.
it in the hash file.
Yeah.
I just realized something. What if the encoder from the terminal with T is messing it up?
Oh, it shouldn't.
It's possible. I feel bad for those
Same.
children.
Same.
7 more, Bronson? You gotta stop.
Stop this man.
Maybe watch Evangelion.
What?
Shinji, get in the back.
Oh wait, I didn't.
Terminating children again.
Oh!
Hey!
Hey! Look at that! You only have to kill like 21 children to get there.
30 minutes. Congratulations.
Just 21. That's
All right, so that's hashing, y'all.
It's as easy as that.
Yep, it's that easy. Any questions? Because I'm obviously qualified to answer them.
Why won't Dan Shills give me more bandwidth?
My question is what?
All right, so no,
So you
No,
can
just
report
leave it there,
basic
Bronson.
passwords.
Leave it there, Bronson.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yay! So yeah, I'm gonna make sure to test next week's demo. Huh? So one kind of exciting announcement we have is we've been working with several of the other CS orgs on a few collaborative things. We're going to be telling you all more about that later, but the first one that we're going to do is a mentorship program. So if you are a freshman and you are looking to get basically an upperclassman who has been in this for a little longer, knows a bit more about getting jobs, getting internships, navigating your classes, sign up for that. I will be sending that form out as soon as it's done. Yes, Seth.
Yeah, so for the mentorship, it's not just freshmen. So if you're like a underclassman, so if you're a sophomore or a freshman, you can feel free to sign up for it. And we are also looking for mentors. So if you're an upperclassman, that being a junior or a senior, you can go to the same form and it's just like you just click mentor instead of mentee. And so you can sign up to be a mentor as well.
Yep.
And like, there's a bunch of questions in there of like, oh, what you're looking for in a mentor, what you're looking to give as a mentor, and like interests. So we're not gonna just put you with someone who you like you're completely not like we have nothing in common. So like there's a little bit saying, oh, this is what I'm interested in. So we'll try to match it up so you have something else to talk about outside of just computers. So yeah.
All right. That's it. Goodbye.
Yeah.